Yo, what's up, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls? This is the DreadMan Sports Podcast. I'm your host here, my boys Flipside, Waddle Todd. What's up, gentlemen? How y'all guys feeling tonight?
Doing good, man. Doing good. Doing good, man. Coming off that high that was that Monday night game. Crazy, crazy.
Gentlemen, boy, do we got a lot to discuss tonight. Man, do we got some things to discuss tonight. Yeah, do we even need to say what the game of the week was this week? I think.
I mean, the Chargers game was awful.
Yeah.
I needed that game. What do you mean? That game doesn't exist.
Yeah. And how about my Steelers pulling out a win at the last minute? Oh my Lord! Literally last 5 seconds. I was like, I mean,
that was crazy.
all right. There was a point in the game where I cut the damn game off. Then all of a sudden, I saw Antonio Brown score, and then I'm like, okay, let me cut it back on. And yeah, I mean, because I was like, I don't know if you guys saw my tweets, but I tweeted two things. I was like, there's 3 certainties in life: death, taxes, and the Pittsburgh Steelers struggling to beat teams that are under 500. Oh, man. And I was like, of all the damn teams to have our number, it's got to be the damn Jacksonville Jaguars. But we pulled it out in the end. I mean, and the thing is, I'm satisfied because there's no saying that goes, not how you start, it's how you finish. But yeah, big props to my boys for pulling the win out. But yeah. But what you guys overall think of this week? Besides the utter domination of the Eagles that the Saints put on. The Saints put the same kind of ass whooping on the Eagles that the Steelers did to the Carolina Panthers. This week, in general, I probably have to say this is probably one of my top three favorite weeks of the 2018 season this week, of the 2018 season.
Okay, I think there's a lot of telling things this week. I think there's definitely a couple teams that we can kind of write off a little bit. First of all, I think we could probably, at least now, probably write off Green Bay after losing. I think right now the Bears got a stranglehold on that division. After beating Minnesota, I think it's the Bears. That the Bears are going to win that division.
Well, yeah.
And it's going to be tight for the wild card.
Yeah.
And then I think Dallas might be back. In terms of winning that division and getting into the playoffs, because right now with the Redskins losing Alex Smith, I don't see the Redskins going forward, winning any more. I mean, winning enough to at least get a above 500 record.
Yeah.
I don't think Colt McCoy is going to take them there.
Uh-uh.
And I think that Dallas is starting to play pretty well, and they're getting Zeke, beating Zeke and playing extremely well. I think Dallas is prime and ready, especially that way that defense looks, to take over and win that division.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's a lot of telling things this week. But I don't know if you guys want to go over the Monday night game, or I mean, that game's really. I feel like that's the thing I want to recap because that was an amazing game.
Oh yeah, but just right quick. Now I did the math, and as far as teams who are seasons are over or they're in they're in jeopardy, I did the math on the Packers. The Packers have to win out, obviously. And even if the Packers lose the next game, guess what? They still got to win out, and everybody else in their division has to drop at least 3 games. Now, what are the odds of the Bears, the Vikings, and the Lions dropping 3 games? Very, very slim. Yeah, the Lions maybe.
How many times do they play each other still? Because I think the Bears still have to play them this week, right?
Yeah, the Bears still have to play them, and not to mention, the Packers still have to face Atlanta. So yeah, and they still got another divisional game. So yeah.
But here's the thing: the Bears are without Trubisky this week probably, so this might be a Lions win.
Yeah, because the Lions usually do win on Thanksgiving anyway. So yeah.
Yeah, but the Packers still got to go to Soldier Field.
Yeah.
The very hyped for that game because the Bears could have very well had that first game in the season. So I think they're definitely not going to let. They're going to try to erase that loss. I don't think they're going to let up on the Packers. I think they're going to. I think you got to know they're going to have that chip on their shoulder and try to and not let Aaron Rodgers pull off any semblance of a comeback against them. Granted, Aaron Rodgers didn't miss time in that game, so obviously if Aaron Rodgers would play the full game, it's very possible Packers could have won that pretty handily. But I think the Bears got something to prove in that game. I mean, the Packers they got to play at Minnesota, at Chicago. Those are two tough road games. Granted, Cardinals, at the Jets versus the Lions at home, those are winnable games. Falcons is kind of a toss-up. I think there's at least 2 more losses in that stretch.
Yeah. Flip, anything you want to add?
I don't count the Packers out in that. I think they've kind of found their identity in the running game. Their defense is kind of sketchy. I don't know why they traded away Clinton Dix, but
yeah.
I think just having Aaron Rodgers have a solid run game kind of take off some pressure, and he definitely needs Cobb and Allison to stay healthy this season because Valdez, Scantling, and the other dudes, he just can't do it with them. He needs Adam, Cobb, and Allison to make this run. So if he can have that, I'm counting him.
Yeah. And one more thing before we get into our review of the game of the week, and the Packers, the Patriots had a bye week, and do you guys think that they lost a step, or that their first seed and second seed guaranteed spot is not so guaranteed anymore? I mean, because the Steelers are on a 6-game win streak, but the hardest games the Steelers have left are against the Patriots, and that game is at Heinz Field, and the Steelers have to go on the road against New Orleans. We're gonna recap that game later on, but we'll see about that. But yeah, do you guys think are the Patriots vulnerable? Do you guys think they look vulnerable for the first time in forever?
I want to say yes, but only because Gronk is Gronk is a huge part of their offense because he gets that double team. He commands that double team. So it's like if Gronk's not there, Edelman's banged up, and Josh Gordon's still kind of getting used to Brady still, and I think. But
the front seven have been getting to Tom Brady lately. Tom Brady has been sacked a lot lately.
And that's the thing. You need that Gronk up the middle, that safety blanket. Because if Brady wants to get it off real quick, he can just throw it to Gronk. He can throw it to James White real quick. But he doesn't have that option. And I feel like if Gronk can stay healthy for the rest of the season, we'll see the Patriots in their usual dominant streak.
Yeah, but see,
I'm not counting them out either, just because we haven't seen Gronk much this
year. Yeah, but see, I'm looking at the AFC conference standings right now, and the top 3 teams are the Chiefs, the Steelers, and the Patriots. Now, I needed the Chiefs to lose last night to the Rams, which they did. And in order for the Steelers to take one of the first round buys, is that we already lost to the Chiefs earlier in the season. But one game that is very, very crucial is that game at home against the Patriots. So we will be a half a game ahead. We'll be a full game ahead of the Patriots, but we'll be a half game ahead of the Chiefs if we beat the Patriots. So those top 3 seeds, the next couple of weeks are going to be important for the top 3 seeds in the AFC. But the NFC is all but a lock. But Walter, what do you think about that?
About the AFC? The Patriots in general. I've been kind of skeptical of the Patriots for a few weeks now. And again, a lot of it, as Flip contributed to, is the health of Gronk. I don't know. Again, if we're ever going to see Gronk perform at the level he did, a few years ago, I can't can't guarantee that. I don't know if he's just being shelled because they're concerned and they want to pick him for the playoffs. But from what we've seen, I just think that I don't think Brady is as good as he was, where he could cover up the holes in that on that roster. I mean, Belichick relied on Brady for so long to kind of take to kind of patch up all the holes, and either it was on defense, or if it was like just lack of skill players on offense, Brady would make it work. But I don't think Brady is as good as he once was to make up for those, make up for the deficiencies we've seen on defense, and especially the run game. Tony Michelle's had a couple of good games, but obviously he's still coming back from that injury. I just don't. I'm really skeptical on it. I'm more confident right now in the Steelers and the Chiefs to a degree. Now it's interesting because when I look at the schedule here, the Pittsburgh has a much tougher schedule left on their slate versus the Patriots. So even though Pittsburgh right now is ahead of them, if Pittsburgh was to lose that game, I think it's a very good chance the Patriots could leapfrog them into that second spot. But I think it's going to be Chiefs, and in my head, I might say the Steelers. I'm more confident. I think the Steelers got their swagger back, especially after those last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
To have a blowout win 2 weeks ago, and then to have a comeback win. You're down with 6-0 to the Jags, team that beat you twice. I think both of those are great wins, and I think that's just carrying momentum. And now they have the Le'Veon Bell thing kind of, out of the picture. So at least they don't have to really worry about that kind of like Willie or Woney. They can just focus on the guys they have in their roster and all that. So yeah, I think obviously Kansas City, but I'm skeptical of the Patriots. I don't think the Patriots are gonna. I don't know if the Patriots will make the AFC Championship. To be honest, I think it's gonna. I think they might actually get out. Maybe not the wild card round, or the divisional round.
Yeah. Well, we'll definitely see about that, because then you got teams creeping up on them like the Houston Texans. They could find their way in there. You got teams like let's see. You got the LA. You got the Chargers, who probably get that spot. The AFC. The AFC conferences. Those the 4th through the 6th seed is going to be really, really tricky, but we'll see. Anyway, gentlemen.
Like 13-3.
Oh yeah. But anywho, let's review what's the obvious game of the week. Let's review the LA Rams going up against the Kansas City Chiefs in a certified classic. Now, that game was originally supposed to be in Mexico City, but it had to be moved to LA because of the field conditions. Thank God, because there would have been torn ligaments and broken bones all around. I predicted that game. I predicted that game, and I was right. I said them by, I think, a touchdown, but it ended up being by 3 points. And the thing is, I looked at ESPN, and like some people, and like even some fans of football was criticizing this game in a negative light. I'm like, they're like, oh man, the only reason why these teams score so much is because both the defenses were crappy. I don't know what game you were watching, but there were several points and several plays made only because the defense was so damn good in the game. So I don't understand what the hell, like, a lot of people like, man, the NFL is getting soft. They're not defensively sound anymore. But that was some of the best defense I've not ever seen. That's like a lot. That's probably the best defense I've seen played in a while, and both teams still put up a modest amount of points. But does this loss hurt the Chiefs' morale going into the next 4 weeks? No, it doesn't. Because if anything, they'll be even more motivated, because I believe they're still, regardless of what happens, I still think that the Chiefs are going to get one of the top 2 seeds. And Jared Goff is the real deal. And Pat Mahomes, he went the first 3 games without making any turnovers at all, but he had 3 interceptions and 2 fumbles. He had 5 turnovers in this game. So, yeah, I mean, Patrick Mahomes, he needs to clean that up very, very fast because you can't do that. You can't turn the ball over when it comes to playoffs. But anyway, fellas, what do you think of last night's game?
I thought it was like you were saying, there was some really good defense plays. I would say that it was some of the best defense we've seen played in the shootout.
Yeah, definitely.
Definitely contributed to the score. But I mean, it comes down to I feel like the defense won that game for the Rams. Like Aaron Donald, man.
Oh yeah, and Dominican Sue.
He's a monster.
Yeah.
And I feel like Mahomes kind of ran out of steam down the stretch. It felt like he was forcing those throws to Tyreek Hill.
Mm-hmm.
But it was crazy, man. At first it was like 40-30 at one point. I was like, okay,
they're
about to lose. The Rams about to run away with it, and all of a sudden I woke up and scored like 44-40. I was like, yo, what's going on here?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man, that game was great. I would say it was obviously the best game of the season, but you could make a case it was the best game of the decade so far.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a really good game. I'm going to say that this performance kind of hurts Mahomes, just because we've seen that. He's not Mr. Perfect.
Yeah.
He threw like 5 interceptions.
3 interceptions, 2 fumbles. 3 interceptions, 2 fumbles.
3 interceptions, 5 turnovers.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's going to be something that coaches can kind of scheme against him with now. They've got something that they see his Achilles heel a little bit.
Yeah.
So I mean, down the stretch, Mahomes was kind of looking shaky, but for the first 3.5 quarters, he was on fire, man.
Yeah.
Props to him.
But I don't really think you could take that away from him. I mean, because the thing is, if you turn the ball over 5 times, it's not supposed to be close. You're supposed to get blown out, and they only lost by 3. So I don't really feel like you could take that much away from Patrick Mahomes. But I feel like if he didn't turn the ball over at all, it'd be a different story. But yeah, Walter, what do you think?
Yeah, it was a remarkable game. To your point, there were, even though in a high-scoring game, there were a lot of great defensive plays out there. Obviously, both options have talent on the defensive side of the ball. I was really extremely impressed with Jared Goff. Like, he was throwing some dimes out there. And I really slept on him. Even though he had a good season last year with the Rams, I really slept on him overall. But I mean, he was definitely. Obviously didn't have Gurley. He'd be up there in the running for MVP because of the way he's playing. But he was absolutely remarkable. I don't think he had a turnover, right? He didn't throw any picks. I don't think he didn't have a strip sack, did he?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
There was one. There was one right now. But so Mahomes, I mean, you're right. He was obviously early on started and having turnovers. But now we're starting to see he's got that Brett Favre in him that he swings it he's throwing it up there for grabs sometimes and he's gonna throw some picks. So I caught that kind of vibe from him, especially on the last throw. The second to last interception, I think he got kind of hit and that kind of shortened the throw a little bit, so it needs to take. But the very last one was sloppy. It was kind of stuck because there was definitely a coaching gap with the Rams at the very end of the game. I don't know why they weren't trying to run the ball with Todd Gurley with 2 minutes. They're trying to, with that. I can't remember how much time was left. I think it was under 2 minutes.
Yeah.
And they came out throwing. They came out trying to throw the ball. And at the end there, almost got one guy tackled out of bounds. He slid in, and then they had 2 incomplete passes. And it just didn't make any sense to me. And it was I almost felt like I was going to be very sick if Kansas City could capitalize on this. This was definitely a really terrible decision making. I don't know why McVay. I don't know why you don't at least try to hand the ball off to Todd Gurley a couple times just to eat up some clock. I mean,
yeah.
Gurley could definitely just bust one open anyways and get a first down. It's not even a give up play. So after seeing that a little bit, I mean, I'm still it's interesting because everyone would like to see this game. Obviously, this is definitely a lot of hype. There's definitely a lot of like this could be a potential Super Bowl matchup.
Mm-hmm.
This would be a terrific Super Bowl if it occurs. But after watching this game, I've come away with a little bit of. Granted, both teams played extremely well, but I could see definitely some errors,
some chinks in the armor
in both teams. Chinks in the armor in both teams.
Yeah.
After seeing what New Orleans did to the Eagles, 48 to 7. After seeing what they did to the Eagles, and they already beat the Rams.
Yeah.
I mean, again, the Rams was awesome, but they barely beat the Chiefs at home, essentially. And the Chiefs, obviously, they had some sloppy play. I mean, the Mahomes had some sloppy plays, but they made up for it with their offense. But I don't know if that's going to get it done in January. When the weather starts, when it starts becoming more of a run game, the teams that run the ball more.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we very rarely do we see high octane offenses through the air and succeed in the playoffs. So again, I come away with faults in both in chinks in the armor in both. It was a great entertaining game. Both young quarterbacks played terrific. Surprisingly, again, didn't really see too much. I'm looking at Hunt and Gurley's numbers. They're kind of average. They're up. It looks like obviously it was just a heavy throwing. They didn't really have many rushing yards.
Oh yeah.
But it was it was entertaining as hell. But I came away thinking I don't know if this is going to be the Super Bowl matchup. I think I'm leaning. I'm thinking I might be the Saints in the NFC and in the AFC. I could possibly see the Steelers. I don't know.
I mean, we'll see, but it depends. Anyway, I rate that game 4.5 out of 5 stars, maybe even a perfect 5 stars. But yeah. Anyway, moving on. Who you guys think was the most improved team of last week?
Most improved. I don't know. That's a weird one. I want to go with the Colts. It's pretty impressive over these last 5 games. It seems like they're just getting better and better. T.Y. Hill's getting involved in passing games now. The running game's all right, and their defense. I mean, Mariota was up for I think the second half of the game, but they still shut him out in the first half. So they're kind of like a sleeper team for me this year. I'm kind of impressed with them. Yeah, I'll go with the Colts.
Yeah. All right, Walter Todd, what about you? Your most improved team?
I'm going to go with the Dallas Cowboys because they successfully managed to run the 2-minute drill.
Yeah.
And actually,
oh wow,
they actually were able to get in range for a field goal and not mess it up. But overall, no, the defense looked good against Ryan and Julio. Julio had a pretty good game, but I think they kept them under wraps. Again, they had them only at 6 points in the first half. It's crazy. Granted, the offense for the Dallas didn't show up really until the fourth, but they all because it's slowly getting more and more touches. I think Dallas is starting to figure it out a little bit. And again, like I said earlier, I think Dallas is I think they're starting to they're starting to right the ship. They're my most improved team in the league this past week, and I think that they have a really good shot. I think they're going to win the NFC.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh yeah. Let's see. My pick for most improved team of the week. I got 2. One of them was the Dallas Cowboys for the same reason that you had, and the other one, believe it or not, was actually the Seattle Seahawks. That's pretty much, because of their loss to the week. They lost the week before to the Rams, which was a very, very, very close loss. But some people might think that I've been overrating Seattle, but I think the people are sleeping on them. They probably want that a sleeper team. But I don't know what it is where they just can't get over the hump against. The thing is, even if they do go somewhere, even if they do get that 5th or 6th seed in the playoffs, I don't think they can beat the Saints or the Rams. But who? I would love to see I'd like to see Seattle go up against the Rams for a 3rd time, but then again, that'd probably be a home game for the Rams. But my 2 picks for most improved team of this week are Seattle and Dallas. Now for the choke of the week. My choke of the week this week, it had to be against the Carolina Panthers. Because this was a win they needed, and this is a very, very close one that they should have actually got. But yeah, it's just I don't know if it was bad coaching by Ron Rivera or if it was just a horrible throw by Cam Newton. But yeah, my choke of the week definitely goes to Carolina this week. But what about you, fellas?
It is the Chargers 100,000%.
Oh wow, wow.
We were up. Look, man, we're up 20-22.
But
a minute and 40 on the clock. 2nd and 4. Good. 2nd and 4. All we have to do is just hand off the ball. They only have one timeout left. We just need the first down. Rivers fails to hand the ball off and takes the sack. And then 3rd down, he throws the ball away instead of taking the sack to run the clock. And the Broncos ran down the field and scored on it. That's what does, man. You failed to perform an obvious run. And then you let the Broncos score in like a minute and 20 seconds. Choke.
Well, could you say the same thing about Jacksonville?
Yeah, you could actually.
Wow. I mean, well, yeah.
You could say the same thing about Jacksonville. I was co-champions of the week for choke.
All right, Walter, what do you think? Because there's like 5 candidates for choke of the week this week.
No, I'm gonna go. I'm just gonna go with the Chargers. I figured it out even with that. I could have better myself. It's definitely the Chargers. I mean, this looked like a gimme week for them. I can't. Again, I don't know why. I guess it's a divisional opponent. I mean, I guess you can't count out these divisional matchups. They always seem obviously know each other well enough that it's sometimes never a blowout when you think it is. But yeah, you're right. I just don't know where that LA offense was.
Yeah. All right, fellas. Now we go into our Week 12 picks. We got our Thanksgiving Day games. We got Chicago at Ford Field. Chicago versus Detroit at Ford Field. Flip, who you got? Bears, Lions.
If Trubisky doesn't play, I'm definitely leaning towards Lions. It doesn't look like he's going to play this week. That hit that Harrison Smith did on his strong arm, they're probably going to have to sit him out. I don't think their run game is that solid to pull off a win against the Lions team. The Lions are going to be without Marvin Jones, but Kenny Galladay, he actually was pretty good last week. They also might not have carried on Johnson, so can we rely on LeGarrette Blount to kind of take over in that run game with Theo Riddick? I'm leaning towards yes. I think it's going to be a close game because Khalil Mack is coming back. But I think that their defense is going to get tired from being on the field for so long. So I got Lions winning it 23-20.
All right, Walter Todd, who you got? Bears, Lions.
Yeah, I agree with what's said. Again, it's depending on the health of certain key players. I think that can shift the tide in either direction. Detroit, historically, usually plays pretty competitive on Thanksgiving. They always pull out some sort of magic sometimes, depending on the opponent. But divisional matchup, I think this could potentially be a closer game than people might think. I guess some I think the Bears might run away with this. Again, offensively, Trubisky's looking sharper and sharper again, depending on his health. That is based on this game. I think that there are chances for the Lions to tweak this out. I mean, the Lions had a really great win last week against Carolina, and again, you could argue whether or not Carolina choked that game, but Detroit played a hell of a game. So even without Lamar Jones, I think they could probably be competitive and hang in there with Chicago. It's at Ford Field. I'm gonna go with the upset on this one. I'm gonna say Detroit wins this game. It's gonna be a little low scoring. I'm gonna say Detroit wins 20-17.
All right. Once again, you gentlemen make interesting cases, and I'm gonna have to. And guess what? Our first prediction is a hat trick. So, because I'm actually going with I'm actually gonna go with the Detroit Lions too, just based off of what you guys said. I predicted them to win this by 3 points, but I'm gonna go ahead and give them by 6 points, by 2 field goals instead. Detroit, like I said, I mean that they struggled against the Carolina Panthers. Really, like I said, to me that game they should have lost that game, but I digress. And the Lions, I mean, and the Bears, they look pretty damn good against. They look good against the Vikings. But I mean, you guys are right. But I mean, depending on the status of certain players, it could be a rough game. And like I said, the Detroit Lions, no matter who the opponent is, and it's usually a divisional opponent too. They usually don't lose on Thanksgiving. But I'm gonna go ahead and give it to the Detroit Lions by 6 points. 20 to 26 Lions. Next up, we got this should be interesting. Divisional matchup. Washington Redskins at Jerry's World against the Dallas Cowboys. Flip, who you got? Cowboys, Skins.
I think that's still Colt McCoy.
You're not sold on him?
I mean, for his first start, he's playing in his alma mater. He's playing back in Texas. He's gonna have a little bit of home opening. I'm sure at some point Jerry Jones will convince himself to try to pick him up just because he's a Texas boy. But I'm not sold on him with that Redskins team. There's not enough talent around that team to protect Colt McCoy or make him look good.
I was a little bit of a fan of him, man. He was out there running and making those nice little throws in the end zone to Jordan Reed. I was like, okay, cool. He might be able to save this game. But I don't know. I feel like this might be a trap game for the Cowboys. It's a weird feeling. I feel like they might key in on Adrian Peterson this game, and Colt McCoy might just throw a field day on him or something. So I'm going with this being my upset of the week, my underdog of the week. I respect the Cowboys now. I like their defense. Van Der Esch putting in work over there. If they get Sean Lee back, it'll be a nice little team. I think Colt McCoy might outplay Dak, though. That's what I think. And I think Josh Norman can hold Amari Cooper.
Oh, yeah.
Dak is kind of blind anyway. He might miss the opening routes anyway. So I'm going with the Redskins to win this 24 to 19.
All right. What's the time? Who you got? Skins, Cowboys.
Well, let's see. I mean, both teams have around average. They'll both give up almost 100 yards on the ground. I think it's very possible that for any. Again, Dallas actually is better. I think Dallas has against the edge defense to the Cowboys. Just overall, they played really well defensively. The Redskins, even with the talent, I think Dallas can still work around it. I think that Dallas, which again, even if Dak doesn't have a good game, I just think that they have the recipe now. I think that they're going to design everything they can for Ezekiel Elliott. Even if Amari Cooper is not being used to the degrees of his talent, I just think that Ezekiel Elliott takes over in this game. He gets that weird ass turkey trophy at the end of the game and makes small talk with Joe Buck. I just think he's going to end up taking over, and I think he eventually. Probably, again, if you're going to say who's the best player that's going to be on the field in that game, it's going to be Ezekiel Elliott, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
So, yeah, I can see this being a close, tight game. I don't think it's going to be a blowout for either team, especially not the Redskins. So, maybe this gets down to where it's a tie game and Dallas has to make another drive again, and I can see Dak doing some dink and dunks to Cole Beasley for getting for some first downs and then hands the ball off to get field goal range. So I'm going to say this is probably like a 5 or 6 point game. Um, I'll take Dallas wins this 23-17.
All right. Now this game is going to solely come down on the running game. And like I said, you got Adrian Peterson going up against Ezekiel Elliott. Now, I believe that Zeke probably let's see who has the better blocking. I believe that at this point, Adrian Peterson might have the better blocking than Zeke, but it's just that Zeke, Zeke can somehow create openings, and he just see like a small seam and then just boom, just accelerate through the hole. But yeah, that run block is going to be crucial. Now, I'm going to have to disagree with Flip about Dak about Colt being better than Dak on that night. I think that Dak's he's gonna use his legs a lot in this game because a lot of people that secondary, they're gonna be trying to zero in on those receivers. But yeah, I think this is a game. It might come down to whoever has the most rushing yards on the ground, and I think that Dak and Zeke are probably gonna have to put up at least 50 each. So yeah, but give me the Dallas Cowboys in this game by 8 points, 23-31. All right, then we got the nighttime game, the evening game. Oh, we got the Atlanta Falcons on the road against the New Orleans Saints, who just destroyed, decimated, annihilated, obliterated, embarrassed, humiliated. Y'all want me to keep going? Eviscerated, just completely unzipped their pants and then just urinated all over the Super Bowl champions last year. They just literally the Saints just completely just took a piss all over the Eagles. And you mean to tell me Atlanta struggled against Dallas, and they're supposed to go on the road and beat the Saints? You know what? I just said it all right there. Flip, who you got? Atlanta or New Orleans?
Definitely, New Orleans, man. I like the Falcons' offense a little bit. I think they have potential. The Saints, man, and their defense is actually playing pretty well these last few weeks. So it's kind of like there's only 3 teams in the NFL that I'm confident that can win any. The Rams, Chiefs, and the Saints.
Mm-hmm.
And then the Saints. I mean, can anyone in the AFC or not the AFC, the NFC, the NFC South kind of even like compete with the Saints?
I would have said. I mean, a few weeks ago, I would have said Carolina, but Carolina's been going down. But
yeah, I would have said Carolina too.
Yeah, not now.
Yeah, so it's kind of like the Saints. I don't know. They're too high powered. Even if it's a divisional game, I just feel like the Saints, the split the man, they'll just. I don't know, man. They'll just destroy them. I got the Saints winning this one. Do we think they'll make just a statement game like they did against the Eagles? I feel like that was a statement game.
They might. I mean, well, you know what? It's a divisional game, so it's going to be a little bit close. So, but yeah.
I don't think it's going to be close. I feel like this might just be a blowout divisional game.
Yeah.
I'm going to say Saints win 35-20.
I got the Saints 21-31. Walter, what about you?
I think this is a pretty high-scoring game. I think after the loss the Falcons had, I think they show up a little more offensively, but the Saints at home, I think they're going to be playing from behind. It's going to be a very insurmountable lead. They might get some garbage points to make it look better on paper, but just the Saints, just when you think, you have them, at least figure it out, I would argue that, after Michael Thomas and the running backs with Ingram and Camara, you can kind of say, who else does Breeze have on their team? I mean, a little bit, but then you get this guy, Traquan Smith,
Mm-hmm.
Had a big monster game. And then they just picked up Brandon Marshall, which is interesting if he's got anything left. It's very interesting, but it's just gonna be just I can't see any scenario unless the Saints just get too cocky and feeling themselves and then not even pay attention and prepare for this game. But I think that obviously the 1 seed is still at stake right now. The Rams are still still up there, and obviously they have the tiebreaker, but you still got to make sure that you match the record. So the Saints still have something to play for still, at least going forward the next 3-4 weeks. So I think there was probably another double-digit win for the Saints. I think the Falcons put up points late, keep it close, but give me the Saints in this game. Saints 37. I'll say Falcons. I'll say Falcons 24.
All right. Next game, we got another divisional game, AFC North though. Cleveland Browns going up against the Cincinnati Bengals. Flip, who you got? Browns, Bengals. And it's at Paul Brown Stadium. The Bengals are home.
Well, I think the Bengals get AJ Green back this week, so that's a plus for them. This might be a pretty good game, actually. I wouldn't say that the Bengals have a pretty good defense. I would say the Browns' defense is way better. But I'm going to say that the Browns are looking pretty good these last few weeks. I feel like their new offensive scheme is just too good for the Bengals. So I kind of want to hand it over to them this week. I want to say Browns beat the Bengals in a close game. I'll say 27-20.
All right, Walter, who you got? Browns, Bengals.
I think the Browns, for sure.
In a good place right now. They just lost O.J. Howard for the season. That's like James' favorite target, and I'm pretty sure he's starting this week. The 49ers defense, against Fitzpatrick, they should be fine. Because he'll throw a team out of the game. James can throw a team out of the game. So either way, I feel like whichever quarterback starts for the Bucs, the 49ers should be fine on defense. And I like Nick Mullins, man. Nick Mullins, the Kittle, Nick Mullins, the good win. You got Breida in the backfield. Kyle Juszczyk is always there to somehow miraculously get the first down. So, I like the 49ers in this game, so I'm going to go with 49ers 27 and Bucs 17.
All right, Wazatov, who you got? Niners or you got the Bucs?
I like Niners in this game. I think the Bucs obviously are a team that can be exploited in a lot of different facets. I like our front seven for run defense. I think we can do a good job on good running back. I do think that our secondary can be exposed to the deep ball. I'm not sure if I would prefer maybe Winston over Fitzpatrick. I think Winston is. I don't know if I think he's more prone to hanging on to the ball a little bit longer than Vincent, but so I think there is potential for to be played against the secondary. But the front seven, they have it unlocked. I think that whoever is behind the center there, whether it's Patrick or whether it would be Winston, I think they're going to be dealing with a big headache, a lot of sacks, and again, offensively, the Niners they're doing well with again how that most people would really bat an eye at. With Breida, freaking Kevin Bourne. We got some guys, and obviously Kittle, who's a terrific top 5 items this week. So again, Mullins, I'm excited to see what the next 2 games are going to look like for him. I think that he has opportunities to show how well he can play. Again, well, I'm riding this little interesting wave of being the quarterback who was back of how he looks against these other squads going forward. So, yeah, give me the Niners in this game, even on the road. I'm going to say San Francisco 27, Tampa Bay 21.
All right. Once again, you gentlemen make interesting cases, but this is a game where my spidey sense is tingling, and I'm gonna have to kind of go against the grain because San Fran, while they've been looking decent lately, still like they haven't shown me anything to where they can beat a top 10 team. Even though Tampa Bay's like been on the decline for quite a few weeks now, and we pretty much know in the NFC South and pretty much in the whole NFC, we pretty much know they're not going anywhere unless a miracle happens. But I mean, Fitz can do good against a defense like San Francisco. I mean, San Francisco's secondary is okay, and their linebackers are too. But I mean, and
sorry, don't interrupt you. I'm just double checking stuff here. They do say that Tampa's going to have Winston start over the Packers.
Well, that might be even better for them. Maybe it could be better, but we'll see about that. But San Fran, they've been showing me a little bit too. I mean, I'm not going to discredit them, especially their running game. Their running game's look pretty damn good so far. It's just going to come down to like this game is probably going to come down to turnovers or who makes the most mistakes on defense. But me, seeing as how they're at home, I trust Tampa Bay just a little bit more. Going ahead and give me Tampa Bay over San Francisco 27-21. Now, next up, we got the Buffalo Bills going up against the Jacksonville Jaguars, and Buffalo is at home in this game. Flip, who you got? Jags, Bills.
I don't know about this one.
Yeah.
The Bills defense is not bad. I don't think they have Josh Allen back. I think they're still running with Matt Barkley, right? I'm not sure.
Uh-huh.
But I don't know. This could be a weird game because Blake Bortles is prone to turnovers.
Yeah.
If they can stuff Fournette, they can do some damage to this team. Sean McCoy, I mean, he's always available to break out and have a game for Bills. It hasn't happened this year. But, I mean, we've seen what the Steelers did. They came back in the fourth quarter. They just tore the Jags up. So,
yeah.
I feel like the Jags will win this game. I think it may be close. I don't think it's going to be anything too crazy. I'll say Jags win 13 to 7. I'll say 13.
All right. Walter, who you got? Jags, Bills.
This is in Buffalo. It looks like they're saying Josh Allen is on track to start.
Oh boy.
He is on track to start, and I think I guess it'd be interesting because Jalen Ramsey did call Josh Allen trash before the season, and said on Tuesday he didn't back off the assessment. And I don't know, Jalen usually tends to back up, stuff he says about a lot of guys. So I think there's a good chance to kind of actually, prove his word and everything like that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, this Bills offense and McCoy, I'm not threatened by it, even with the quarterback like Bortles on the opposite end. I don't know if Bills can put up enough points. I think even though Jacksonville had a tough loss the week before, I think that defensively they can provide a little bit much mismatches for Josh Allen, let alone a lot of other quarterbacks.
Mm-hmm.
I just think with Bortles playing as fully as he is, I think he can limit his mistakes in this game. Just get Fournette at least 20 to 30 carries, and then you can just walk away with 3 or 4 point Jimmy Jacksonville also is going to be a low scoring game. I don't know what the weather's like. The only thing I might think of is if Buffalo is playing in the snow. I don't think we're getting that right now. Is it? What's the website list? The NFLweather.com. Give me that. NFLweather.com. If it's a snow game, because I feel like McCoy is like he plays in these snow games, runs for like 200 yards. Like I swear, every snow game he plays in, like he has a big game. But in this game, they're saying it's 43 degrees. It's been colder in Jacksonville in December sometimes, so I'm gonna say give me the Jags in this game. Jacksonville doesn't beat Buffalo. 15.
All right. Now, if Josh Allen is starting, it's going to be a long day. I mean, I don't care what weapons you have behind him. He's inexperienced to show me anything. But the Bills' defense is bipolar as hell too. They can either show up or not show up. But this is gonna be a very, very tough one to call. Going ahead, I mean the thing is, Jacksonville's looking to they're looking to kind of bounce back from last week's loss, especially since they lost in the last literally 15 seconds of the fourth quarter to the Pittsburgh Steelers. But go ahead and give me Jacksonville in this game. Yeah, it's not going to be a high scoring one. Go ahead and give me the Jags 20-14 over the Bills.
Bills did hang up with like 40 points on the Jets.
Yeah, but the Jags ain't no Jets.
I mean, the Jets. I mean, they have a decent offense and a pretty decent defense. They're kind of like a little like great value Jaguars.
Yeah.
Who knows, man?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was on the road too. I mean, technically, it's in New York. It's not really the road so much for Buffalo, but yeah, that is a good point. But.
Yeah. Well, all right. Next game, we got the Oakland Raiders going up against the Baltimore Ravens. Flip, who you got? Raiders, Ravens.
Lamar Jackson is that man. He's taking this starting spot from Joe Flacco after this.
Michael Vick 2.0?
Yeah, pretty much. Once he gets his throwing down, I think he can be fixed.
He ran way more than a running back should. I don't care if he is a dual threat. He's putting himself in danger.
25 times.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, he ran more than he ran more than the actual running back did. But yeah.
But I think that's what they like. They like that they can rush him that much, and I feel like they're confident that he can become a good pocket passer. But if he can get his passing up, he might be a scary quarterback for the Ravens. Man, they might have their franchise quarterback with them. And maybe Robert Griffin III is back there giving them pointers, man.
Yeah, he is. I seen him on the bench talking to him. Yeah.
Yeah, so that could be another thing. But yeah, I definitely trust Lamar Jackson and Gus Edwards. It feels like they're going with Gus Edwards when he's on the field instead of Alex Collins. They should pretty handily beat the Raiders, who are probably just tanking the season. So yeah, I gotta say Ravens won this pretty easily, 24-13.
All right. Walter Todd, who you got? Raiders, Ravens.
Yeah, I think for the time being, Lamar Jackson's going to have some success. I think when you have a running back like that, a quarterback, being confused, not too much the ball so much, quarterback that can run as well as he does, and still take snaps under the center. I think that it's going to take NFL teams a little while to kind of scheme and figure them out. So I think the time being for the short term, you're going to have a lot of success. But long term, I think that remains to be seen until the Ravens organization can figure out how to better get him equipped to be a traditional, or at least be a solid passer of the football. I don't think you can't rely on him to run the ball 25 times, 25 plus times. Let's say if he's your quarterback, you just can't. He's gotta be under center, you gotta be in shotgun, however you want to do it. But in the short term, yeah, in the short term, I think in the short term, it's almost like it's a little bit of a gimmick to me. You can kind of get away with it early on until teams start figuring you out. And against the Raiders, it can probably work. I mean, the Raiders already got their asses booked, to Nick Mullins on Monday night. I mean, they probably run all over them. So give me the Ravens in this game pretty handily. I think they're obviously, they're still trying to compete for the spot in the AFC.
Yeah.
The Raiders, meanwhile, they're in a spot for the top spot as well, but that's the top spot in the draft order. So I think they're gonna keep in line with that, get a loss here. So get to the Ravens in this game. I'll say the Ravens 23, Oakland 16.
All right. Now, you guys are right in the sense of Lamar Jackson. Well, it's only a matter of time for a team kind of zero in on him until they can figure out the scheme, because I've noticed this in both of the games in both the games against the Steelers, where they would switch out Lamar Jackson. They switch out Joe Jackson for Joe Flacco for Lamar Jackson, and then he'd strictly do a read option type of run play. It's only a matter of time for teams key in on that. But the thing is, Wazatov, you ain't lying, because that might work against a Raiders defense, because the Raiders right now, they're a mess on both sides of the ball. It's even getting so bad to where Derek Carr and John Gruden are on the sidelines arguing with each other. Now, if they had a running game to rely on, I might give them a chance. But in this one, I just can't, because there's no chemistry there. They got a slim chance, but I just don't see it, especially since Baltimore's at home this game. Go ahead and give me the Baltimore Ravens over the Oakland Raiders by, let's just say, 28-17. Next up, oh my goodness, this should be a very, very interesting one. And this will determine a lot in the NFC wild card going forward. We got the Seattle Seahawks on the road against the Carolina Panthers. Flip, who you got? I love it. I love this matchup.
This is a hard one to pick,
Yeah.
man, because
yeah.
I mean, the Seattle Seahawks are a really run-heavy team. They have two really good running backs, and they're pretty solid. So I mean, I can understand why they're a run-heavy team. Doug Baldwin's been saying that he's fully healthy now, and he feels like he's back to his top form, and kind of shows that in his last performance in Packers. So I mean, Seattle's offense is pretty scary, man. They can keep up with the Packers and the Rams.
Yeah, they're underrated. Yeah.
Yeah. And the Panthers are, they're good. They can't sleep on them either, but they've shown that they can kind of have some bad games, like last week when they had to resort to the 2-point conversion. I think they went for 2 points earlier in that game, right?
Yeah.
And that was kind of so it feels like Seattle might sneak in and take one of those wild card spots.
Yeah.
So I'm going to give Seattle to win this one, 27-24.
All right. Wazatov, who you got? Panthers, Seahawks.
Yeah, this is a hard one to pick. I think this could potentially be a game of the week. Both teams kind of are very similar. Both historically, this is what last 5 or so years. Good tough defensively, good defensive players, good quarterbacks are well apt at running. I think right now, obviously, you might look at their receiving core maybe being maybe a slight weakness on offense, but Tyler Lockett is playing really well. Funches and Greg Olsen, always getting going from Carolina. So when I think about, again, I'm going to go off of who I think, going from a coaching standpoint, I like what Pete Carroll has been doing overall this season versus what Ron Rivera is doing with Carolina. I think, again, I've always said Carolina's always kind of felt like a little smoke and mirrors.
Yeah.
Carolina's been winning those games, those really close games that they could have lost, whereas Seattle was always kind of losing those games that they could. Seattle was losing those games that they probably could have won. And now it feels like it's starting to flip a little bit the other direction for both teams.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's starting to trend a little bit. Carolina defensively, I'm going to give the edge to Seattle defensively. I'm going to give the edge coaching, I think, to Seattle more so. I think they're hitting that stride now that Seattle always kind of starts out slow and people count them out, and they start racking up wins middle of the season and they make a push late at the end. And I think you're right. I think as with my number that they could help grab that wild card spot. So give me Seattle in this game. Let's see, Seattle 24, Carolina 22.
Now, I was going back and forth with this pick myself because Carolina's got a lot to prove because they had a devastating loss to Pittsburgh and they choked against the Lions in a game that they should have won. But you got Seattle, who's on a 2-game win streak. They beat the Packers, which a lot of people, which was a pretty damn good game, probably game of the weekend for that week, in my opinion. But it looks like things are clicking for Seattle. But Carolina, I think the thing is, it really is going to come down to. Pete Carroll is a risk taker. Ron Rivera is a huge ass risk taker. Both of these, that's the thing. Both of these coaches take some risks. But I got to say that Pete Carroll's risk pay off just a little bit more than Ron Rivera's. The thing is, we'll see in this case. Both teams got a solid ass running game, but I think that Christian McCaffrey's a better running back though. The running game is slightly better. And Russell and Cam, they can both scramble. They're both dual threat QBs. They both. This is why this is such a hard matchup to make because these two teams they mirror each other in so many different ways. It's hard to pick. This game really is a toss up. But once again, this is a game where my spider sense is tingling, and I'm not going to go against this one. I'm going to go ahead and give me Carolina by 3 points. By 2. Yeah, Carolina by 3 points. 24-27. Next up, NFC East divisional matchup. The New York Giants going up against the Philadelphia Eagles. The Giants, they finally, I don't know what the hell it is with them. They find a way to hang around, even though they have a losing record. Philly just got blown out by the Saints, but we'll see how this one goes. Flip, who you got? Giants, Eagles.
Yeah, it's funny.
What is?
About the Giants, it felt like they wanted to tank this season,
Mm-hmm.
but then they just kind of accidentally kept winning. And now they actually have a chance to kind of take this division if the Redskins aren't as good as we think they are with Colt McCoy at quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
So, I feel like the Giants might kind of turn it up a bit now. They're like, oh, we can actually win the division now. And they're not going to go into tank mode. The Eagles team, I don't know, man. They're kind of in a little rut here.
Yeah.
Golden Tate doesn't look like who they thought he would be on this team. The Saints held Zach Ertz to I think 2 catches.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. The Eagles team is a mess, and they're very vulnerable. So this might be another underdog pick for me. I'm going to go with the Giants to win this game if they are the underdogs. I feel like Eli's kind of in stride. He's kind of shown himself lately. He's got Odell, Shepard, Ingram, Saquon Barkley. Their offense on paper is definitely better than the Eagles.
Yeah.
I feel like the Giants will pull this win out. I'm going to say the Giants will win 24-20 with the Eagles.
All right. Wildstop, who you got? Giants, Eagles.
Yeah, I like the Giants in this game. It's so weird. I think the Eagles have been kind of free falling a little bit. Definitely a tough loss. And the Giants seem to have, even though it's only been a couple of wins, I feel like there's this hidden momentum behind them. And that's the thing that's just always attributed to Eli Manning and his team that kind of come out of nowhere in certain points of the year.
Mm-hmm.
And again, I don't think you can ever really truly count out the Giants until they're mathematically eliminated.
Yeah.
Because there's just too much history behind Eli in that organization coming out of nowhere, especially finishing at 9-7. So
yeah.
If they went out. Meanwhile, I think Philadelphia, I don't know what they do to rebound after that game. I mean, I would imagine, these are guys, your men, these are guys that don't take a loss like that lightly.
Yeah.
Getting shown up. You're defending champions, and that's like the worst loss the defending champions ever had in the regular season. The following year they won. So it's gonna be interesting to see how they bounce back. I think the Giants have the tools to again capitalize and expose that weak secondary on Philadelphia. I'm not sure what Philly does defensively to stop Odell. But we'll see. But give me New York. Say New York 25, Philadelphia 17.
All right. Now, at this point, Carson Wentz is a better quarterback than Eli Manning is, but you guys are right. And the New York Giants, I mean, regardless of what position they're in, they somehow find a way. They have this weird thing about like finding ways to either scratch out games or try to claw their way into postseason. Like it's such a weird team. They've been such a weird team over the past decade. They're really a team that you can't count out. But I just feel like that Philly has, especially being at home, they have a little bit more to prove. They really do want to rinse the taste out of that ass whooping that they got. I mean, from New Orleans. But a lot of people saw that coming. Well, I saw a New Orleans win coming. I didn't see a New Orleans ass whooping coming. But so we've already talked about that. But I don't really think that much defense is going to be played in this game. I mean, but I think that the Giants' secondary is better, but the Phillies' front is better. But it seems like Eli's composure is not as good when he gets sacked. It seems like when he gets sacked once, he gives up, and you don't want that, especially against a team like Philly, because they will really they'll key in on you. So that might be something that Eli want to watch out for. And I feel like that they should. I feel like as far as Philly's defense, they should just key in on Saquon. They should just forget. Well, I feel like they should just forget Odell. Just let him get off his yard, because he's going to get off his yard regardless. They need to key in on Saquon. They need to key in on everybody else. But I feel like this game is going to be close. It's going to be within a touchdown, maybe within 6 points or less. But I just feel safer picking Philly in this game. Go ahead and give me Philly 20. No, maybe less than a touchdown. I mean, go ahead and give me Philly 28-24 over the Giants. Next game, we got the Arizona Cardinals going up against the LA Chargers. Now, the Chargers are also looking to rinse that bad taste of a loss out of their mouth over a game they should have won. In Arizona, like right now, statistically, they are the worst team in the league right now. But Flip, who you got? Cardinals, Chargers.
Yeah, the Chargers.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not too worried about the loss last week. Offensive wise, I feel like the Broncos play as well every year, so I'm not surprised by that loss. The Cardinals, they've looked pretty good with Byron Leftwich as offensive coordinator. I just don't think they have the team to kind of keep up with the team that's not the Oakland Raiders, okay?
Yeah.
And plus we have Joey Bosa back. He's working himself back into the offense. I think he'll get a lot more snaps this week. So I could definitely see Ingram and Bosa giving Josh Rosen a hell of a time. He is turnover prone too. So it just seems like a Chargers game this week. So I'll say Chargers win 27-13.
All right, Walter Todd, who you got? Cardinals, Chargers.
Yeah, I think I'm not expecting the Chargers to lose back-to-back home games to both Denver and Arizona. I don't think there's any universe that's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Especially not for a game. Like, if that happens, I can't have any good them in the playoffs.
Yeah.
If it was the Broncos and the Cardinals back-to-back at home, I'm not gonna bet on you to win anything in the playoffs. I can't go forward. So since I do trust the Chargers to an extent, I think they're gonna win this game by default. Obviously, they do have trouble with the run, but and obviously, Arizona's got terrific running back David Johnson, but Arizona's also even worse at defending the run, and Melvin Gordon is phenomenal. I think there's too many Chiefs offense with too much talent on both sides for the Chargers, whereas the Cardinals have some deficiencies. I just think it's going to be a bounce back game for LA, and I think they're gonna relish with that loss against Denver, but they're gonna take it out in Arizona. Give me the Chargers in this game. On the Chargers 34, Arizona.
All right. Now I've already played my case for both teams, but all I gotta do is pretty much just give my prediction. But just one more thing on this. You guys, Flip, Wazatov, you're right. If the Chargers lose 2 back-to-back games at home against two teams who are under 500, then they don't deserve the playoffs. You're not exactly a team that you're not exactly a team that, I bet my bottom dollar on in the playoffs. Even if you do make the 5th or the 6th seed, but still, go on ahead and give me the Chargers by 8 points in this game, 22-30. Next game, we got the Miami Dolphins going on the road at Lucas Oil Stadium against the Indianapolis Colts. Now, the Colts are another team that are somehow flying under the radar, but they're putting up damn good numbers. They're a team that, But thing is, if you look at the if you look at the AFC South, it's going to be a horse race. It really is going to depend on those last 3 or 4, games, especially in those divisional games. That determines who's going to come out on top. Because of course you got the Texans, then you got Tennessee too, but they face each other on a Monday night game. This one is. For me, this one's cut and dry. But then again, Miami could make a game out of it. But anyway, Flip, what do you think about this one? Who you got, Miami or Indianapolis?
I like the Colts in this one, man. I think Tannehill said he's going to come back. He's still putting pain in his starting arm, so that's the cause for a line if they do play him. Their whole wide receiver core is banged up. I think Devontae Parker's out for this game as well. I think the only person they have is Amendola. Kenyon Drake and Frank Gore are good, but I don't think they can save this offense. Their defense has been pretty decent, but they're definitely been giving us points. And the Colts just tore up the kite. Yeah. And I think I saw something that said Andrew Luck has only been pressured 3 times in the last 5 weeks. So, or the last 5 games maybe. So that's I don't think the Dolphins defense gets to Luck. I think he's going to have all day to throw. T.Y. Hill looking good. Yeah, this seems like a Colts game. So I'm going to say Colts win 31-16.
All right, Wazatov, who you got? Do you got Miami or Indianapolis?
Yeah, I got Indianapolis at home. Andrew Luck he's having one hell of a comeback season. My comeback player of the year for sure. He was on pace for like 46 touchdowns, like 110K. In any other year, that would be like an MVP worthy year. Yeah. Except for this one, but he's been playing phenomenal. He's had like 7 straight games with 3 touchdowns. And he's just playing a monster. Him and T.Y. Hilton. It's almost looking like Peyton and Marvin Harrison back in the day. But yeah, the Dolphins, like what said, they got a lot of injuries. Devontae Parker not play. I think Drake is also questionable, so might just rely solely on Frank Gore. Frank Gore is the workhorse. He's on pace for almost like 800 yards this season. Yeah. He's playing for like 15 years, which would be remarkable. But I just don't think they have Indianapolis wins this game pretty handily. I'm going to say give me the Colts 34, and give me the Dolphins 20. And yeah, like Flip said, that offensive line has been everything for Indianapolis. Keeping Andrew Luck upright makes all the difference for a quarterback with talent.
Yeah. Now, I would trust Miami more if they started Brock Osweiler instead of Ryan Tannehill. But once again, what the hell do I know? I'm not a coach. But yeah, like I said, I mean, I made a case earlier that Indy is one of those teams that are under the radar, and that I mean, the thing is, like I said, it's it really is going to come down to the last couple of games in the AFC South to see who actually comes out of that division victorious. And I wouldn't be surprised at all if Indy had a 6-seed wild card spot. But like I said, we'll see. Andrew Luck, if you give that man time, he's dangerous. And he's also not scared to run outside the pocket for like 5 or 10 yards for a little scramble just to get a first down. If you want a first down, and if it's third down, and if it's 3rd and 5, and he doesn't see anybody open, he'll get you that first down, even if he has to jump for it. Brock Osweiler or Ryan Tannehill, like Tannehill's got some miles on him. Osweiler, he's kind of afraid to run out of the pocket and get banged up. And you guys are right about the receiving core for the Miami Dolphins not being what it was. I mean, at this point, right now, the receiving core for the Colts blows out the receiving core for they blow out the Miami's receiving core. And both teams' defense are okay, but that's not the side of the ball you're going to be looking on. Go on ahead and give me Indy in this game by 12 points over Miami. Next game, we got the Pittsburgh Steelers going on the road at Mile High Stadium against the Denver Broncos. Flip, who you got? Pittsburgh or Denver?
At Mile High,
Mm-hmm.
that might be that's a weird game because everyone plays in a high altitude. They play differently.
Yeah.
Chris Harris Jr. is probably going to be on Antonio Brown.
Mm-hmm.
And Keenan Allen just kind of lit him up. So
yeah,
I don't have any hopes for that Broncos defense holding Antonio Brown and Juju Smith-Schuster.
Oh no.
So I feel like the altitude might play a part in this game. Dan might have some trouble with Chubb and Von Miller. I think Steelers defense can stop Philip Lindsay.
TJ Watt might eat Case Keenum alive. I said that T.J. Watt might eat Case Keenum alive.
Oh, definitely. Case Keenum was getting pressured a good bit in the Chargers game.
Yeah.
So Steelers definitely could get some pressure on him. I think it could be a close game, especially with people watching that Jaguars tape on the Steelers. I feel like they might kind of follow suit a little bit if they can get some luck the same way. I got the Steelers pulling this one out. I'm going to say Steelers win 24-20.
All right. Walter Tyler, who you got? Steelers Broncos.
I like the Steelers in this game, even on the road in Denver and Mile High. I feel like Pittsburgh. Again, this is a team that they travel well. I don't count them out, but in an environment like that, the defense is really again that in terms of scoring, they pretty much only given up like 21 points. I think the most in the last 5 games. They've been again playing really well on that side of the ball. Big Ben, again, I think he's going to have his way with that defense. Granted, I thought Philip might have his way, but again, Denver could look at the case as was suggested. I think they have the players. They kind of follow that same formula a little bit with their. I think they have a better, at least Emmanuel Sanders is better than anybody on Jacksonville anymore. But I think there's some patience for them to kind of mimic what Jacksonville did.
Yeah.
I think Case Keenum could probably do as good a job, if not better, than Blake Bortles. But I think I think Pittsburgh, after seeing Kansas City lose, I think they're going to kind of try to seize on this opportunity. Not mess around. This is a winnable game for them. So they're going to take care of business. Give me Pittsburgh to win this game. I'll give Pittsburgh 23. I'll give Denver 14.
Keys to victory for